What's going on, everybody? So this is going to be a fun review today because it's literally, I've got two IEMs that'll be coming out soon. Not me personally, but IEMs that I heard the prototypes and was able to give a little bit of feedback on, which is really cool since I've only been doing this for this amount of time. One is from a friend. And, well, actually, both are from friends, but one is from a friend that I met way back. So, CanJam, CanJam, New York, 2024. I flew there, didn't know anybody. CanJam Dallas was the previous show, the first show I'd gone to, and I didn't know anybody. But I had so much fun at Dallas that I wanted to go to the next one, which was New York. So I flew there, didn't know anybody. But I saw that Music Tech was going to have a huge table. And I had bought my Raven from them and had such a great experience that I couldn't wait to go to that table. So when the doors open, I beelined it to the Music Tech table. And first I met Todd, who is a great music aficionado, amazing dude, sweetheart, who just kind of embraced me and was just like talking to me and made me feel comfortable because, again, a little bit nervous being in New York and at a CanJam and not knowing anybody. Second person I met was Leo. Both of them have become friends. Leo works for Music Tech, but he's also done work with Unique Melody. If you love the Multiverse Mentor, his ear. He's got a great ear. And our friendship has developed over time, especially if I feel like, am I hearing this correctly? And I ask Leo and he'll confirm or deny. He's just got an amazing ear. So fast forward to Dallas 2024. We had already done, so New York met Leo, then SoCal, and then Dallas for 2024. And we kind of did like a pre-CanJam in the lobby. People brought their IEMs. Leo brought IEMs from Music Tech, but he also brought two prototypes. One was a bright sounding one, and one was a darker sounding one. And I actually liked both. They both had very awesome character. Just very different. But I like them both. So then let's go to, since we were at Dallas, let's go to New York this year. Excuse me. And he brought the final prototype. And man, was it awesome. It was incredible. Well, I found out the story behind it. Leo has a friend named John. Leo plays drums, by the way, on top of having the perfect ear and all that kind of good stuff. He has a friend named John over in China. And he plays guitar. And is just done so many things. Like he's producer, helped design concert halls. Like the guy is just prolific, right? Oh, and he also makes IEMs. So for many, many hours, time difference, both of them not sleeping, they have been fine-tuning this IEM. And I think you've already figured out by now, it's the Quill Satin. So I'm just going to show you the case because the case is pretty cool. But anyway, so this review today is on the Quill Audio Satin. All right, so the Quill Acoustics Satin. So there's an early bird special. So if you order now, it's 9% off, so it's $2,999. The regular price will be $3,299. It is a 10-driver quad bridge configuration. So it has one 10-inch custom titanium PU hybrid Q-Force dynamic driver, 7 balanced armatures from Sonyan and Knowles, a 7.2 house-designed silken planar magnetic driver, and it's got one full-range PZD bone conducting driver. It has a 7-way crossover as well. It's got a trio pass multi-layering phase system for natural timbre and precise phase accuracy. It's got micron grade bass filters, patented technology for ultra clean yet impactful bass response. And it's got a hybrid sound tunnel materials, also patent pending. Different hybrid materials are used for different frequencies in order to get the optimum timbre. And it also comes with a PW Audio OCC cable. All right, so let's get the unboxing. There's a theme to this, which I think is really cool. Every note sings a story, every chord paints a memory, and every beat stirs the soul. So you sit there and you slip this off, and you'll notice, kind of reminds you of something, right? So you slip this off, and you open this up, and voila, it reminds you of a book which is pretty cool. And this is Leo's telling of the story of how this came about and his friendship with John and them working together in making this IEM. So once you get past the wonderful story, this is where you're going to find your Quill Satin, the cable, and all the goodies that come along. So in this nice leather pouch, you'll find your PW audio cable. It's a nice, very good looking pouch. On the side here is your cleaner. So kind of sharp, so be careful. Got a brush here, and then your cleaner here. You'll find your tips in this section, and a nice assortment of tips. You've got some good tips in here. Should be able to find something that works for you. And of course, I'm going to leave them in here, but you've got your satin tucked right in there. So pound for pound, a really nice, very nice unboxing experience, especially the theme of it, telling the story of how the Quill acoustic satins were made. So how is fit and finish on the Quill acoustic satin? So we've got this, I'm going to say it's a large shell. It's about Raven size. Beautiful shell. They did a great job on the design work and everything. But it is a larger shell, and the snout's a larger size too. So if you have a issue with larger IEMs, you might have an issue with this one. But it has a really smooth rounded back to it. So it's very, very comfortable. I haven't had any issues. It's not heavy at all. I've been able to have it in for a long time without any issues. They have the awesome custom PW audio cable, and they're legendary when it comes to the quality of their cables and the sound that their cables make. And this does not disappoint. It's a very nice cable. You guys know my rule. I like a cable that I'm able to roll up and place in my hand, and it's be able to stay. So pound for pound, this is a really excellent setup. All right, so let's talk about sound. What I find very awesome about these, it reminds me of the Legion. So the Flip Ears Legion at $800 can compete with IEMs that are above it. I think I've said in the video with the Flip Ears that I took it to New York with me before Can Jam, let multiple people listen to it, and then asked them, how much do you think this IEM is? And no one got it. They were guessing, oh, well, it's at least like $16,000, $2,000, some said $3,000, and it's an $850 IEM. Well, this satin is very similar in a sense. Now, it's more expensive. It's $3,000. They wanted to keep it right at $3,000. But it's very much like the Legion, where it freaking competes against things double its price. Thanks to Ace Screamin', you know, the awesome partner of the channel, and Mr. Crash, I've been able to do APX, Amber Pearl, that review's coming soon. I've got Macbeth with Ambition, that review's coming soon. So I've got Mason FS, Jardine, like, I've run the gamut of IEMs that cost above $5,000. And this is being at $3,000, it competes with IEMs twice its price. Let's just start off with bass. I'm going to lump bass, mids, and treble together in this one because there is a resolution in each one of these that I've heard in the APX SE, and I hear it in the mids of the Macbeth with the Ambition cable. And what's cool is with the Satin is that you've got this bass, like a kick drum will come in, and it freaking sounds like it's in the room. It sounds so realistic. The way these make the music sounds much like Macbeth. because Ricardo is a huge, huge music fan. He loves opera. So things need to sound correct to him. Cellos need to sound like cellos. Opera singers, their voices need to have the note weight and the emotions with them. So it's very important for him when he did the Macbeth for his IEM to portray that realistically. Well, with Satin, you've got a drummer and you've got a guitar player. And I remember in my preview video, I was talking about, I had a funny conversation with Leo. I was listening to Layla and it just hit me, and I messaged him and I said, hey, is John a guitarist? And he's like, yeah, how did you know? And I'm like, because they sound so real. So the same thing, cymbals sound beautiful. All the instruments just sound correct. And it's just, I think the way my brain is tuned, just because I played in so many orchestras, jazz bands, things like that as a younger man. I talked to this about with the other Jonathan in California, and he's a singer. And then I read an article where it seems like because we did it for so long, our brains hear things a little bit differently than someone who's a non-musician. And it's kind of cool too, because you've got people like Aries and the Arthur Argentum does it splendidly. He's a musician, but you can also have someone like Ricardo, who's just a lover of music, and they nail it. Like they nail. So Satin that's something that you get in the higher tiers of prices where, same thing with Unique Melody. Like one of my friends, Hawaii Hi-Fi Man, was talking about trombones sound right on his Amber Pearl. So the more you pay, I feel like the more realistic you have to get. And it's really great to have this $3,000 IEM called the Satin that is there with all these crazy priced IEMs that I've mentioned. So the bass, it's got thunderous bass, but it's that IEM that if it's called for, it's there, and it sounds so beautiful, so textured, so realistic. Things like string bass, it pulls back, and you've just got that texture and the realness of how the string bass sounds, or the kick drum. And the other thing that just blows my mind about these is because I don't know if it's the bone conducting, the piezo bone conducting in it, or if it's just the way they're tuned, but you can literally, like, I'll put some Michael League and Bill Lawrence on, or I'll put some Max Richter on. There's a new singer, and I was going to mention her, but now I can't remember her name, that is like one of my favorites. I think it's Mariah Delilah, and she's got the first song on that new CD. It's her first CD. And it's just spectacular because her voice is just so sultry and beautiful. She also plays the guitar, and that comes in. And listening to it on the Satin, it's like she's in the room with you. There's a realism to the way the sound is. It's so awesome. That's something that you get in the higher tiers as well. So the treble, playing God, cymbals, it's like he's in the room with you, and the cymbals are just so clear, so realistic. The guitar, of course, sounds amazing. And just because it's just the drums and the guitar of the two people that made it, I feel like they're able to make all the rest of the instruments, because they've played with all the rest of the instruments, sound extraordinary. So, and then we've got the mids. I've talked about the treble, I've talked about the bass. Extended, good mid bass, good sub bass. Not sure if I brought that up, and it thumps. Treble is not forward in your face, but it's there. It's just extended. It just sounds great. The mids are spectacular. Again, with the instruments, the separation is just awesome. It's not going for like the grandiosity of it all. It's going for kind of like the correctness of it all, but in a space that allows you to feel like you're live, depending on how your recording was recorded. Like, it just brings awesome recordings alive, and it's not too bad, even though with all this resolution, because it is a resolution monster. That's another thing. When we talk about resolution, it's getting up there with APX-SC type resolution, Macbeth type resolution, like the resolution monsters it throws punches with. But it does it in a way where it doesn't get kind of tizzy or fake. There's no treble kind of trick with it. It's more natural, which allows it to sound so realistic. And it's for $3,000. $3,000. Like, this to me is a game-changing IEM in the upper echelons, because it's bringing the upper echelons down to here, where a lot of people feel like this is getting ridiculous, this is getting stupid. Well, these two crazy people, kind of knuckleheads, did something extraordinary. They're basically giving you that top tier sound for, I hate to say it, a mid-tier price, because they just keep going up. And it's nice to have two people that are like, you know what? We're going to show how talented we are by making something that's just as good, but at this price. So you don't have to keep going to chase that. And with that goal in mind, they killed it. All right, so is the Quill Satin a buy? So, they're getting expensive. IEMs are expensive. But I know Leo and John wanted to do something extraordinary. They wanted to give you that top dollar, crazy escalating price, quality, at a reasonable price of $3,000. I actually think that's a sweet spot for people that wanting to get the total experience. You can spend 6, 7, 8, 9, or 18 for Fugaku, but you know, it's just really up to what your budget is. And if your budget is not a Fugaku level budget, if it's not an Amber Pearl level budget, they're both phenomenal. But if you're not in that budget and you can afford this, then it's definitely something that allows you to hear, experience, enjoy what those crazy upper tiers are doing. So I think it's pretty extraordinary what they did. They brought all those qualities that you get with the super total crazy IEMs down to a reasonable price. And that should be commended, because I wish more people would do that, because again, I feel like Legion does it. I feel like P5 Plus 2 does it. And now in the total area, we have the banger, the Satin, that does it. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to ask, and I will see you in the next video.